Hello world, this is my fourth challenge on CodeWars. So recently what I figured out is this 8 KYU, right? So that means that you're at the 8th level. So there are levels from 1 to 8, and 8 is the easiest of all and 1 is the toughest of all. So what I figured out was we were in the past 3 videos, I was solving the level 8 problems and it felt a bit too easy for me. So what I am trying to do is to rank up and try to solve the level 6 problems. And let's see if we can solve this. If I can solve this, then well and good, or else I'll just go back a level down and then try to solve those, right? So that's how we will progress, and eventually, gradually, I'll go to level 1. Again, just remember, I'm still learning to program, right? I am no expert at this point of time, but still here we are trying to solve this problem. So yeah, let's get started. So this problem is called as split strings. What exactly do we need to do? So we need to complete the solution so that it splits the string into pairs of 2 characters, right? So if a string contains an odd number of characters, then it should replace the missing second character of the final pair with an underscore. Okay, so if you have an ABC, then it should return AB and C and then underscores, because uh, it has odd number of characters, right? Like the string. So if it has even number of characters, then you just need to return it in pairs. So what you are being given is a string, and what you need to return is an array, right? So let's just declare an array called resulting array, right? And we'll just declare an empty array like this, which is a resulting array. So first we need to check if the given string is even or odd, right? So let's just do that. So if how do you check? We get the length of the string. So string dot length, right? And we will say let maybe number of characters in string is string dot length, right? And if number of characters, I just put this inside the parentheses. If number of characters modulus 2 equal to 0, or better yet, we say not equal to 0. So what I'll just explain in a bit what exactly we are trying to do, right? So if the string length modulus 2, so what does modulus return? Modulus returns the remainder, right? So if you divide the number of characters inside the string by 2, and if the remainder is 0, then that means that the number of characters is even, right? Now we are using the not operator, which means that if you divide the number of characters by 2, and if the remainder is not equal to 0, then that means that the number of characters in the string is odd, right? So if that is the case, what we need to do is add an underscore at the end of the string so that we make it even, right? Because if you notice, at the end of the day, an array is always of 2 characters. So we will end up with even number of characters inside the array. So let us just add the underscore at the end if the string is odd, right? So that it will be easier for us to calculate later. So if that is the case, then we do string is equal to string plus an underscore. And let us just update this number of characters to string dot length. I'll tell you why. And I just need to put a quick disclaimer. I did solve this before. I forgot to record it. So it might seem like I'm doing this in a very seamless fashion, but no, I tried a lot of things which did not work, and now I just know how to do it, right? So I'm just running you through the solution. Next time I'll make sure that I record even the process where I try to debug what exactly is happening, right? So I'll just let you know. So if number of characters modulus 2, again, if it is odd, just append it and then update the string. That is the number of characters. Now, what we need to do is from each string, right, we need to remove two characters and then place it inside the array, which is our resulting array, right? So how can we do that? So let's just say for let I equal to 0, I less than num of characters divided by 2, I plus plus. What am I doing? I'm just going to let you know. So resulting array of I equal to something, which is two letters, right? Like, so say for example, let us take this. Now again, this is not complete code. I'm just trying to explain it now. Why exactly did I do that? So say for example, our input is ABC over here, right? So ABC, our str is ABC. So what exactly happens now? Now we declare an array called resulting string, and the number of characters is string.length, which is now 3, right? Again, if number of characters modulus 2, so 3 modulus 2 is not equal to 0, right? So this whole statement is true, and if this is true, it will enter here, right? So what will happen now is, because this is an odd number, these statements will be executed, right? So first we will do is str plus underscore, which literally is equal to abc plus your underscore, which will result in str equal to ABC and underscore, right? So now this is your new str. And again, we'll update the number of characters to this. So now the number of characters will be inside this str will become 4, right? So this is what we are trying to do over here. After that, what I'm trying to do is I'm going inside a loop. Why? Because I want to store the first two letters, right? The first two letters of this string inside the array of the resulting array for every index. So for first index, which is 0, I need to store the first two letters. For the next index, which is 1, I need to store the next two letters. So that is why I have a for loop over there, right? And why am I doing divided by 2? The number of characters divided by 2, because effectively at the end of the day, if you have 4 characters, right? So I mean, if you have 3 characters, you will update it to 4 by adding an underscore. And when you have 4 characters, you just have 2 indices, right, inside the array, which is 0 and 1. So that is why we are dividing it by 2, so that we have only half of the number of characters which are required, right? Because we are storing it in terms of pairs. Hope you understand that. So now, if you actually run this, right, like let's just say, uh, now of course we have not declared what exactly is 2 letters. So let's just do that first. Let to, how exactly, now this is a good thing that I forgot what to do, right? So now what we need to do is we need to take these two out. So what we can do is, first we need to split the string. Like we need to convert the string into an array so that it's easier for us to operate on it, right? So let's just declare a string array, okay, which is equal to our string dot split. What do we split on? We just split on the number of, I mean, the characters and nothing else, right? Now we can do a simple thing called console.log, and we can see what exactly is our string array. You should have every single element listed out. Okay, I'll just comment this out for this moment, and I'm just going to test this. So our output should be, yes, it should be an error because it does not expect what it is required. So what did we get? I think they inputted A, B, C, D, E, F over here. And then we got every character, right? So this is as expected. I wanted this, right? I just wanted this. So now it's perfect. Now what I need to do? Every 2 characters, I need to join them, right? So I just need 2 characters of this array. So what I need to do is take two characters of the array, that is str array, and then you join them to a string, right? First, let us do this. So how are we going to do that? So let's just say our resulting array of I of 0, let's just say 0 is equal to, now we have split that. What we need to do is string array of 0 plus string array of 1, right? Let's just see what this will result in. Okay, I'll just try to explain how I did it previously so that you don't feel like I'm doing some magic. So now you got to know that you get AB, which is the first two characters, right? Like you can do it this way. Or there are other methods called join and join, right? So you can say join and you can call this on an array, right? You can say array dot whatever join, and then it will club those into a string. So what can we do over here? So now this works out for us. So let's just without going through further confusion, I'm just going to run this through a for loop, right? Like I'm just going to implement this in a for loop. Let's just say I'll just uncomment this, and I'll just remove this, and I'll just comment this out. So now for I is equal to 0, I less than blah blah blah, we say so and so. What we need to do is take str array. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste this over here. And instead of I'm just going to say I and I plus 1, right? It's because that is what we did effectively. If you just look at this. So let us return result array. Okay, and we'll see what exactly do we get. What did we get? Expected A, B, B, C, and C, D to deeply be equal to A, B, C, D, and E, F. So if you notice, we got A, B, and then we got B, C, and then we got C, D. Why? Because if you actually trace this out, it is exactly what is happening. So for the second iteration, when I is equal to 1, what happens is you're storing it in the index perfect, right? But here what you're doing is you're saying string array of 1 and string array of 1 plus 1, which is 2. So what happens is it will take the first and the second item of this, which is BC, and store it over here. So that is not what we want, right? We want to skip it and go to 2 and 3, right? How do we do this? So because I ran into this problem, there is another way of achieving this entire thing, right? So what you can do is there's a method called as splice in JavaScript. Okay, so let's just see what exactly is this splice. So in splice, what happens is it will add or remove items from or to an array, right? And it will return the removed items. So how do you use this? So here is the array.splice index, from whatever index you want to remove it to how many items do you want to remove, right? So let's just try that out. So let's say our resulting array of 0 is equal to string array dot splice. What do we want to splice? We want to remove the first two elements. So we start at index 0 and we want the first two elements. Let's just see what this returns. So it returned A and B, but again, this is not joined, right? Like that is not exactly a string. It is two different array. I mean, it returned an array which has two different elements. So what we can do is we can join this with a empty separator. If not, it is going to just use the comma as default separator. I'm just going to show you that. So now you have a string, but you have a comma as the default separator. So if you don't want any default separators, you just specify the separator, which is empty, and then you test it out. So now you have AB. Perfect, right? So now what exactly is splice? Why am I using splice? The best thing about splice is it updates the original array. So if you see this note, right, this method changes the original array. So now effectively what I have is, instead of A, B, C, D, E, F inside this array, that is str of array, right? Now what I effectively have, so I'm just going to show you console.log. If you just log str array before splicing, what do you have? And instead of returning over here, I'm just going to console.log first and then return this resulting array. So now you will get to know what is the difference between the array before splicing and after splicing. So where is it? Okay, here, right here. See, now the first time you console.log, you in this str array, right? You have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then underscore. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, this is good, right? So because we have 7 characters, it added one more. Of course, this is also an input. You can consider this. I'm just considering this. Now, once I spliced it and removed 2 items from starting from the 0th index, we have an what exactly did this do? The method changes the original array, right? So it changed the original array, which is string array, to C, D, E, F. Why? Because we removed these 2 and it modified that. So now we have a new array, right? Basically, it modified the original array. So this works perfectly for our for loop, right? So instead of doing this, let's just comment that out and say for I equal to 0, I less than num of characters divided by 2, and we say I plus plus, right? And also I am not sure if I explained the join method in JavaScript. Again, you can look it up on the W3 schools. What exactly does this join method do, right? So which I've used it somewhere over here. Where did I use it? Over here, right? So now we'll just copy this line. Instead of hard coding it, we'll run it through the what do you say, the loop, right? Because we want to store it in each and every index, and we just don't want the 0th index to have, we want every index of that array, of our resulting array, to have then a pair of characters that we are required to show, right? Like this. So let's just run this. I'm just going to take out this comment so that it's not cluttery. And let's just test this out. Hopefully this should work. Yep, it works. And I'm just going to remove these comments so that we do not have any clutter, and we are going to attempt this for all the tests. So there were 3 tests and all of those worked, right? So now you got to know how exactly I debug. Even though I ran this before, again, when I did it for the first time, it was a bit more of debugging, right? It wasn't so easy because even I had forgotten all these methods existed. I knew they were there, but I just did not know how to implement them, right? Now, because I mean, this line, like console.log, is your debugger for JavaScript. Also, there are other things like console.table, many things like dir, I guess, for detailed things. So you can use the debugger and you can know the status of the variable at any given point of time. By using that, I got to know like what exactly is the program doing at the point of time and how exactly I need to tackle the solution. So, and also, if you're running into problems using the loops, what I would recommend you to do first is try to do it without a loop, right? So what I did previously. So without a loop, just hard code it and try to get the results which is desired. And once you get those results, it is very easy for you to implement that over and over and over again, because loop is nothing but just making the result appear over, I mean, letting the computer do a task over and over and over and again, right? So you can, once you get the result, you can do it again. So if you noticed, and if you go back in the video, I just did this outside with a hardcore number over here, like index of 0. I just knew what exactly I wanted at the index 0. And I expect the same behavior to happen when I run it through a loop and change the index, right? So you get the whole point. So this is how you basically solve a problem. Hopefully this made sense. That's it for this video. Thank you.